Welcome back to the network. I am your host, Randolph, and we're going to get right into it. You see the title. We got to talk about Steph Curry. And you may think we got to talk about Aisha Curry, but we really got to talk about Steph Curry because have you noticed he's not doing anything? We hear a lot coming from Aisha Curry, but have you noticed that we don't really hear much from Steph Curry? And I'm curious about that because over here at the network, it may not seem like it, but we're advocates for marriage over here in the right way, if it's done the right way. And what we do here is try to collect information from the people who are already married and things like that to try to get a good synopsis of what's going on. So since we don't have much on Steph Curry, we really don't have only have much on Aisha Curry. We're going to start with her because I'm curious. Here's the question: why is Steph Curry staying? That's what I am specifically curious about. Why is Steph Curry staying when we see clearly what's happening? From all the interviews that we've been watching, all the interviews I'm sure you've seen, all the reactions, she's been getting a lot of heat from things she's been saying online, and a lot of that she deserves. We're not going to analyze the video of her on the daytime show, for one, because of how old it is, and it's been, beat like a dead horse. That part right there was the part where a lot of guys were like, all right, Steph Curry's going to do it, and he didn't do it. Even after she tried to take her ring off on daytime television. And he didn't do anything. So I'm curious about it, man. Like, Steph Curry is one of the greatest men in America, arguably one of the greatest men in the world, as far as accomplishments go. And that means a lot in the world of competitive men. But this right here, he's taking major L's, so I'm curious about it. So we're going to dissect this video because I want to know why Steph Curry is staying. Because as I said before, we're not against marriage over here. You just got to be done right, and the market's not good, so let's see what's going on here. Because if Steph Curry's not doing it right, let's see. Let's not jump into it. We got this video from Call Her Daddy podcast. We're going to see what's going on with it. We're not going to analyze the whole thing. We're going to take the bits and pieces, right? So we are going to start out with the I love you first part. I'm curious about that. See if we can get to the beginning.
Shop bestsellers at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are, you're always at home. Whether you're making extra room with our extendable dining tables or creating the perfect cozy space with our modular seating, shop holiday deals and make lifelong memories with Ashley.
And my eyes started to well up, and he was like, "Can I please explain?"
Did YouTube know I was recording? They gave me the full 15-second ad. I just had to mention that. That was kind of annoying. We're going to keep it, though.
And I'm like, okay. And he's
Oh my god, that okay. I immediately now know what you're like in those moments in relationships. You literally go so
getting ready to leave to go back to my mom's house. And I said it. And he didn't say it back. And he just stared at me. And my eyes started to well up. And he was like, "Can I please explain?" And I'm like, okay. And he's
oh my god, that okay. I immediately now know what you're like in those moments in relationships. You literally go stone cold. Just like, okay. Let me know.
He's like, he's like, I said I love you to somebody in the past and I didn't mean it. He's like, and I regret it. And he's like, I just want to be sure that when I say it again, you know that I mean it. And in the moment, I was like, bullshit. But now.
All right. Credit to Steph Curry there. Steph Curry gets a point for that one right there. Good job. He didn't say I love you first. It sounds shallow, but it's really good that he didn't do that. So credit there. You're starting off on a good foot. Here's the question. This is what we're investigating here, network, my fellow hustlers. We're trying to figure out why Steph Curry is staying. And I don't want to hear the whole bougie because he loves her. That doesn't fly over here, man. We need hard evidence as to why this man is staying. Let's check it out.
Obviously, I realized he was serious. And a month later, we're sitting watching 7 Pounds. And when they say, like, the human heart is 7 pounds, he literally, my whole family's in the room, by the way, sitting watching this movie. He leans over in my ear and he's like, "I love you." And I'm like, happy, but I'm also like, what? Like,
What are you doing?
sitting next to my uncle. What are we doing?
All right, that point we just gave Steph Curry, we got to pull it back. That was kind of corny, bro. In front of the uncles and stuff. How did she react to that? Let's see.
Not Steph in that moment thinking like this is gonna be so romantic, and you're literally like,
I mean, if he's going to do one thing, he's going to make it memorable.
so then you did just not talk the rest of the fucking movie?
I had to get up and take a lap. Yeah.
Did he follow you?
She got up and took a lap. All right. This is not really what we're looking for. It's kind of funny. Okay, so these are the butterflies in the beginning. We can just say it's the butterflies and stuff. You know, I haven't experienced that in a while, so like that whole love stuff. We're looking for hard evidence, and the reason we're analyzing this video is because we don't have much on Steph Curry. So here's what I'm wondering, right? Is that how a married man moves? Like, you know, more stoic, quiet, lets his wife come out here and do whatever, and he just stays quiet while she destroys the kingdom? I'm just curious. That's what I'm trying to find out here. I'm not taking shots. That sounded like a shot. I'm not taking shots. I'm trying to get information here, and it's hard to get information from married men. It really is. That's why we got to watch this.
No. And then after the movie was over, we like went in my uncle's elevator and we're like making out in there. It was great.
That's what needed to happen. Picturing him whispering that to you, and you just like so probably like, you're like, Uncle Jerry, just close your ears. What?
I do have an Uncle Jerry. It wasn't Uncle Jerry.
Which uncle was it?
My Uncle Carl.
Uncle Carl.
Yes.
Jerry and Carl. Good names for uncles, right? Okay.
Classic.
You end up moving to the Bay Area.
Yes.
With Steph. Talk to me about, for you, what went into that decision.
It was exciting. I think
All right, we're going to skip past the Bay Area. We don't need to know that. We need to get to the meat and potatoes, the nitty-gritty relationship talk. Okay, getting married. Let's check it out right here. Let's see. When did they get married?
Rewind 2 steps.
Yeah.
Married at 22.
Yeah.
How did you know you were ready for that?
I didn't. I just knew that I loved him, and I'd never like experienced anything else. I'd never felt any differently than like, this is who I want to spend the rest of my life with. And so we kind of just dove in. And
did anyone or
Okay, before we go any further, so she made the decision off of feeling. She was asked if she knew she was ready. She said no. She just, after that, started naming a whole bunch of feelings. So that just reaffirms the idea that women make decisions off of their feelings. That's understood. That's not why we're analyzing this. Y'all were 20, 22. Did she say 22? Let's check it out.
you or Steph or anyone have any hesitations about like, oh, we're getting married in our early 20s or no?
No. And I say this all the time to our family. I'm like, you guys, like 22. I'm like, you guys, I'm like, not a single parent. Nobody was like, hey guys, are you sure? Everybody was like, no, this is what's happening. And we love you and we love you. And it's going to be great. It's just like, wow. Like when I.
Yo, I gotta admit, that's not the way I thought this interview was going to go so far. I was expecting her family to be like, no, you're too young. Wait till you're over 30. So in this situation, Steph Curry's family and Aisha Curry's family, I don't know her maiden name, they were both for it. And they were both in their 20s, 22 years old. Well, she was making a decision off of feelings. We don't know why Steph Curry was making a decision yet. We're going to try to analyze why he did it at that age as well. This is different because what you hear today, especially with the sisters, is over 30. Nothing before that. Not a nutter before 30. Okay? So they did it the other way, the more traditional way. They got it in and he made an honest woman out of her. Could that be it? Because they mentioned earlier in this interview, we didn't cover that part, that Steph Curry was loved in the church. So he's a godly man. Is that why he's staying quiet? Let's find out a little bit more.
Really good.
Well, and again, because there are so many people that may watch this that are like, oh, 22 for them, whether it's because like they watched their parents get married young or whatever, it was normal. But you, in the beginning of this interview, started by being like, girl, I didn't even think I wanted to get married.
Yes, exactly.
So it is a big deal that at 22,
Yeah.
it was.
It's a mixture of that and a mixture of like, there are levels to 22. Like there's different styles of 22-year-olds, but I was like the naive, like very young, unpolished 22-year-old. Like I didn't have very much life experience. And so
am I the only one that just caught that she's trying to set something up here? It seems to me, because I'm watching this fresh just with you, it seems to me that she's setting it up to say that she was too young to do it. In other words, she was wrong and she should have waited till over 30. It seems to me that it's leading that way. Let's see what she got to say, because she said there was different kinds of 20-year-olds and she said she was the one that didn't have life experience. Let's keep it going, because this isn't about her. This is about getting information on Steph Curry, which is Steph Curry is one of the greatest, one of the most accomplished men in America, probably one of the greatest men in the world, as far as what he's accomplished, his net worth, all of that. I'm trying to understand why this man is moving like this.
It's just interesting.
It is, but it's, again, I think like why I was excited to talk to you is because as women, there's just like so many things that happen in our life that we want to plan for.
Yeah.
And then obviously life just doesn't go as planned. And to hear you at a young age getting married, I think like, and knowing it was such a success, but it doesn't mean the whole ride was easy. Like that's what I'm excited to get into.
Yeah.
So like a few months after getting married, you just said you
3 months.
Okay. What was going through your head when you found out that news?
I was confused because my
How
OB,
are you confused?
Because
Alex.
my OB said expected to take up to a year, and so I'm like, oh, if in my head I heard at least a year. I was thinking we were gonna be like bar hopping, like it's like.
Okay, she just confirmed something else that we all know already about the woman's nature. They hear what they want to hear. They told her up to a year, she's heard a year. I mean, that's not news, right? We don't even have to laugh about that. We already know this. This isn't about analyzing a woman's nature. You know what? Could it be because of all those endorsements that he's staying quiet about it? I mean, as far as out here, we see what she's doing. Let's keep going.
Like, no, you're pregnant and you're gonna be very, very sick. But I'm so grateful. I wouldn't change a thing.
Of course.
But it was not on my bingo card.
And when all this went down, like, I guess now looking back, what advice would you give to someone listening of like how to embrace when your timeline suddenly changes?
Oh, there's no such thing as a timeline, I think is the bottom line.
Shop bestsellers at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are, you're always at home. Whether you're making extra room.
Things are going to shift. Like life is ebbs and flows, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches. Sometimes stuff's going to suck, but you can always recover. And I think it's important also, like sometimes you can feel like you're in your own bubble or like feel isolated or like you're the only person experiencing that thing, but there's always like a resource or there's always a community of people who are experiencing similar things.
Did you have like any friends who were in similar life stages to you at that point?
No.
They're like, babe, we're at One Oak.
No.
What are you doing?
No, actually all of our friends are like just now having babies, like the past 4 or 5 years. So we were
You see, that's what I was saying. Wasn't that what I was just saying? What we were just talking about? They did it early, and they did it the more traditional way. And everyone else is getting dropping babies after 30.
trailblazers.
What was the hardest part of being a young mom?
I think my identity. So because I have such an entrepreneurial spirit, not being able to call the shots all the time for myself was freaking weird. And
Not being able to call the shots all the time was weird. Yeah, we can see that you don't like not calling the shots. I mean, it seems like Steph Curry is a benevolent man, and he's been throwing opportunities her way to try to keep the relationship afloat, trying to satisfy what she needs. I think she's going to get into that later. So let me not speak too soon. Let's let her get there.
then learning how to kind of reset myself to make it all work while still having a family was weird too. But it's made me really resilient and like a little gritty. So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, like even thinking about how you said earlier, like once my daughter turned about 1, I was kind of looking around like, I love being a mom,
Yeah.
but I also have this other side of me that I can feel kind of wanting to come back up. And I think a lot of times women can experience like, or so I've read, because I'm obviously not a mother yet, hopefully. But like women can experience this like mom guilt of like, if I have a career and I'm not home, like did you experience that?
I still experience
Okay.
that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy.
Mom guilt and therapy. This is the first time I've ever heard of mom guilt. It's like you all make things up just out of convenience, bro. What's mom guilt now? We got to stay on topic, bro. It's so easy to get sidetracked. Look. So far what we're seeing, they got married. They did it the right way. They started out young. He made an honest woman out of her. And she's going through the phases of being a mother, a new mother. And she's, what is it, postpartum depression? It seems like all of you go through that now. What else she has to say?
Talking about this. What I realized is like if you lose, like for me being married and like with my husband, if you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what are you doing? And so for me, it's always been important. I mean, I'm a little ADHD. So like I have 1,000,005 ideas. I have 1,000,000 interests. I'm very creative. I like to explore those sides of me, and I think it keeps me.
It looks like she's talking about losing your identity in a marriage. Now we're getting to the good stuff because I am curious about that. I am also an industrious man. So I have a lot of things that I always have going on. I mean, I own a brand, I write books, I'm a published author, and a whole lot of other things. Bodybuilder, winning bodybuilder at that. It's proven. So I always have a lot of stuff going on. And that's a concern of mine looking at the future and the possibility of marriage. I don't want to lose myself in that. So I can empathize with what she's saying here. I'm curious though. My thing is still a question. Like, what happens to that? This is the information that is hard to get from married men, and why we're forced to listen to Ayesha Curry, because Steph Curry's not going to tell us anything. So this is what we got, gentlemen, and the ladies who watch too. You probably want some information on this too, because you understand you don't want to lose yourself in a marriage. That's a fear. It really is. I mean, marriage is scary. Just the idea of it, getting it wrong. You definitely don't want to lose yourself, do you? Is that what's going on here? You know, you can see my naivete, but hey, I'm naive because a lot of you married men just don't want to speak, and when you do speak, you lie. So we got to listen to your wives and collect information. So let's see what we got.
Who I am to like my family and the people that I love, but it also allows me to have a certain level of confidence that I don't think I would have otherwise.
Right. It's like you grew up, like we've talked about, like having this thing that you were so passionate about. Yeah. And to lose that creative side of yourself would just mean that you're almost like doing a disservice to yourself and then therefore to your kids and to your husband and to your relationships. Like that's who you are. Yeah. And you don't have to be, as women, we're always told, like, or at least it feels like people just try to have us be one dimensional, and you can do more. Not that it's easy. No. But it's an option.
It's an option. Like I say all the time, I'm like, when men do it, they're like, oh my God, you're so multifaceted. Wow.
So
like,
talented.
What a renaissance man. And I'm like, why can't women do the same thing? Like, what is giving you the ick so bad that you feel like I can't do these separate things, be good at them, or at least try to? Like, what is the problem?
It is really frustrating. And then
Wait. Is she saying Steph Curry had a problem with her being entrepreneurial? That's not the perspective I got. Wasn't he the one that gave you the lead for that cooking show? I'm pretty sure she's going to talk about that. But is she speaking in general here, or is she speaking about Steph Curry, her husband? In general, if she's saying that men don't like seeing their women do that, I don't necessarily agree with that, although I do know that there's a lot of men who don't like it. To me, it seems like insecurity, because the kingdom is the kingdom. Who's the star? That's really what it comes down to.
I think thankfully, like, there's just been enough time of people being like, you know what, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to do it. Even if it pisses all of you off so much and it makes you uncomfortable to see a woman succeeding, deal with that on your own side, because I'm going to keep fucking pushing. Daddy gang.
Okay, she stopped at the right time because she was spewing a whole bunch of feminist stuff right there. We don't need to hear that. But let's move forward, because I think we're getting to the part that we really need to hear.
Keratin Color by Schwarzkopf.
Do you think I look good as a brunette?
Yes! With Keratin Color, get rich, striking color, and forget about breakage. I love it! Schwarzkopf. What story will you tell?
There are a lot of people in sports that don't obviously have to go through as much of the conversation around like fame and spotlight as you and your husband have had to. How did being in the spotlight impact your relationship in the early days? Because you guys didn't know how to handle it.
It's a double-edged sword, because parts of it have afforded me doors to be open. I obviously have to walk through them and then put in the work to stay in the room. But that, I think, would be the elephant in the room.
Okay, she said she had to walk through some doors. My question is, was it you that created those doors and those opportunities, or was it your husband that opened those doors for you off of the strength of his own name? One or the other. Follow me here. Was it you that created those doors and opportunities, or was it your husband off of the strength of his own name that made some calls to get you to shut up? Let's find out. It's getting there. This is the good stuff I need to know, because like the single men out here, we watching, and we have a right to watch, bro. It's a global economy. It's also a global dating economy. And like I repeat over here, we're advocates for marriage. So we're not collecting this information to shoot anybody down. We're collecting this information to make smart decisions. And right now, what it's looking like is that it's not a good time to jump into the market. Let's see though. Let's see.
Is like I'm grateful for that side of things, but on the flip side, I in the beginning hated it so much. I like did not sign up for that. I also always thought like I didn't know that he was gonna end up playing basketball. Like he said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach. Like I thought I was gonna be like the girl out there getting it. So I didn't know. And so it just like
We got to run that back. Now, is this penis envy or like you want to be the star? It seems to me that what you're saying is Steph Curry became greater than what you thought he was going to be. And that was a problem? Let's recap that.
A lot of people in sports that don't obviously have to go through as much of the conversation around like fame and spotlight as you and your husband have had to. How did being in the spotlight impact your relationship in the early days? Because you guys didn't know how to handle it.
it's a double-edged sword because parts of it have afforded me doors to be open. I obviously have to walk through them and then put in the work to stay in the room. But that I think would be the elephant in the room is like I'm grateful for that side of things. But on the flip side, I in the beginning hated it so much. I like did not sign up for that. I also always thought like I didn't know that he was gonna end up playing basketball. Like he said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach. Like I thought I was gonna be like the girl out there getting it. So I didn't know. And so it just like it was weird. And sports fans are so different than like maybe entertainment world fans, and oftentimes it's like very ruthless. And so I think I wasn't expecting that either.
I can see why people analyze that clip the most. That was very charged. That was so telling. Steph Curry became greater than what she thought he was going to become. And it was a problem. She wasn't ready for it. And it looks like she's about to go into all the things that come with that kind of life. And I think the problem is, gotta stop saying that so much. The problem is this. She's not the star. Everything would be fine. All things considered, everything would be fine if she was the one on top. And it looks like she has a problem with that. That she can't get on top. Steph Curry has become too great. She's flying too close to the sun. And this is strange because they're married. And remember that we're trying to find out why Steph Curry is moving the way he's doing. I don't want to hear the old cliche stuff because of endorsements and deals. That's some stupid low-level stuff that weak men say. I don't want to hear that stupid shit. I need real concrete evidence as to why this man is staying in this situation, why he's being disrespected like this. Because this is the stuff that makes single men afraid. Like, do we really want to do this? Look at what's going on. I don't got Steph Curry money, and he can't keep her in line? This is why we need to find out what's going on.
I remember like one time right after my first was born, she was whiny, so I was like, let me just nurse her in the back seat. And Stefan was putting a bike or something in the trunk. And this woman like opens the car door and she sticks her head in and she's like, I just wanted to see the baby. And I'm like, oh, excuse me. And she looks me dead in my face and goes, oh, honey, you know what you signed up for. And then like shuts the door on me. And I was just crying because I was like postpartum. I was just bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, what? Like, is this what it's going to be like?
Wow.
And so that
just reaffirms what we were saying. Like, she's flying too close to the sun. If the shoe was on the other foot, she'd be fine with it. And remember, we're not here to attack Ayesha Curry. We have to listen to Ayesha Curry to get information on Steph Curry, because this is another frustration of mine. I've already mentioned this. When it comes to getting information on marriage, married men tend to lie a lot. So it's hard to get information, concrete information, and it's the truth.
beginnings phases were kind of scary for me.
And as a woman, like, did you ever experience any type of like direct scrutiny over just like you or what you looked like or how you were acting?
Oh, all the time. I feel like I still do. And that's okay. But
how did that impact you though early on when you were like, I'm still not equipped to handle this? Because now you're like seasoned. Yes, it affects you, but you now have the tools of like, I've been here before. I know exactly how to handle this moment.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't still hurt.
it was so depressing. And
Can't nobody bring me down.
also, it was during that time when this like social media thing was just ramping up. And so people were going buck wild and just spewing opinions on things that didn't warrant opinions. And so I think for a while, yeah, I was very critical of myself because of the things that I was seeing.
It's so hard also to be the woman in a situation where you're like, men just don't get as much scrutiny. Like they can maybe tell him like your fucking shots suck tonight, but like the looks and all of that is just like not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did
she just say men don't get as much scrutiny because of looks? Let's stay on track here. Let's stay on track.
talk to Steph about it? Like, or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do not have a bone in my body that can keep anything to myself. So if it comes to mind, it's coming out. And he's so gracious. Like, he tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real.
All right, more credit to Steph Curry. More credit to Steph Curry. That right there told us a lot. This is information we can use now. Okay, so we already know women are always in their feelings. That's not new. What information did we get here that was actually helpful for us? Steph Curry was listening to his wife. He was being solution oriented, trying to figure out why his wife is bothered and come up with a answer for that. Give her something to help her out. You can do nothing but respect the man that's trying to keep that together. So kudos for that. We finally got some information we can actually use because, like I said before, we're not going to get much information from Steph Curry. Maybe it's because you're stoic. I can respect that to a certain point. Maybe it's because you're stoic. I respect that. You know, I'm a quiet individual off camera. But it looks like you can't fix this, bro. I'm not a therapist. Let's see what else you got to say about this.
I mean, that's so bad. We're like, no, wait, but I want to talk about it for 4 more hours. Yeah. Can we just sit down and they're like, do you want me to solve it for you?
Yeah.
It's not real. We both know it's not real, blah, blah.
He's like,
no.
go to bed.
Go to sleep. You're like in the bathroom brushing your teeth. You're like, another thing. You like pop out. He's like,
Quite literally.
can you share like something that was said about you in the early days to just like paint the picture?
Gosh,
no one
you're
knows.
putting me on the spot. Okay, this one's kind of funny.
Now it's funny.
This one's kind of funny because at a certain point, like I do have a round face.
Oh my God.
So like at a certain point, this was true.
She said it herself. She said she has a round face. So now we have the right to call her round face. She said it. She introduced it to the table. It's on the table now. All right. From now on, we calling her round face.
Because I was a little weightier. But there was this thing going around that said there's 2 things. It was like that I look like SpongeBob's mom. Just look it up after.
Okay.
But I felt that way. So when seeing it, I was like, damn.
No.
What else? I think because he's like known for shooting threes, people will say something all the time like, oh, he shoots threes on and off the court. And I'm like, come on.
Well, first of all, 3 plus like a million. Like you were like so fucking stunning and gorgeous.
Very
Like
sweet.
I don't need to
That's
say that to you,
very
but I have to say it because it's also like the people that are writing it are probably threes, but not you. But also I feel like it's funny to see.
Oh, please. This is the stuff. We got to get through it. Let's get through it.
Any athlete's wife, everyone just first goes for their looks and they compare
so
it. It's
strange.
crazy.
It's so
crazy.
strange.
That online conversation is so tired. Like immediately just judging a wife of like a man that is well known and famous. Doesn't even have to be sports. It can be entertainment, actors, whatever it be. It's always
Yeah.
with the looks, and it's like, aren't we tired?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I've also gotten the like, and I've gotten this in person a lot, is the like the stigma of being a wife of somebody that plays professional sports or a girlfriend, whatever. Oh, how does it feel to be said person's wife and also work? And I'm like, what? So I think there's a stigma out there that people don't do, these women aren't doing anything. That's not true. There's so many women doing incredible things. A lot just like they do it under the radar, which is great. Like,
No, it's so misogynistic.
It's
like
so crazy.
Well, your husband makes so much fucking money.
Yo, she just dropped the M word. Misogynistic. She dropped the M word, bro. Fair use. This is, what's the name of this channel, bro? I said it earlier, man. Just rewind it. She said the M word, bro. And your wife on this channel? Let's pause for a second and recap all the information we've collected so far. We know this. Steph Curry loves his wife. Ugh, that love word. I'd much rather you say respect. Can we switch love for respect? I'd much rather the respect word, but they love each. He loves her. Okay. He listens to her problems. He's trying to find out solutions. That's not why we watching this, man. We're like, when are you gonna do what you gotta do? Okay, that was the single man in me, right? Okay, that was the single man in me. I gotta admit it. Look, I don't understand the kind of love that would. I don't get it. I'm curious and I'm trying to collect information. So it's mainly frustration. So let's see here.
Like, why would you ever want to work if it's like, God forbid, I also have individual interests and needs and wants and goals in my fucking life?
Crazy.
It's all projection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. I want to play a game then between you and Steph of who is more likely to. Okay. Who is more likely to take a work call during date night?
Stefan.
Do you guys have boundaries of like, no, we're done with work, food?
I do. Where's the game?
You're like, do not disturb, motherfucker. Okay.
Oh, I was about to skip this part. These questions are going to be very telling. No, she's very controlling in the house. Let's see.
Who is more likely to call a family meeting?
Me.
What was the topic of the most
sure.
recent like Curry family meeting?
These days, and I'm sorry, you guys. Is this the camera I look at?
Yep.
I'm sorry, you guys. It's just true. These days, it's calling meetings about our parents to discuss our parents.
When you become an adult and then you realize like, oh, my parents, how did I get through an airport when I was younger? Like, how did you get me through to Terminal B? Like, you start to like your parents like, I love you more than life, but like.
All right, this part is getting a little too girly for me. We're going to move forward to the food TV part. I saw that part because we were talking about how Steph Curry is being solution-oriented with his wife. And part of those solutions was him giving her opportunities to do what she wanted to do with her life. Threw things away. As a matter of fact, off of the strength of Steph Curry's name, Aisha Curry is a multi-millionaire. I think that food thing was because of him. Let's see what she says about that. And then we're going to wrap it up. I think we got enough to finish our investigation here.
Hello? Okay. Who is more likely to splurge on a big purchase?
Me. That is not even a conversation.
Good for
He's
you.
going to be so proud of me for being honest, too.
He's going to be watching this like, yes, babe. Thank you for taking accountability. What is like one of your splurges?
She used the accountability word all wrong. Oh, who spends the most money? I do. Oh, yes, thanks for taking accountability. That's not what men mean when we say we want you to be accountable. Jesus Christ.
Is that you're like, I'm really actually proud of that one.
Shop bestsellers at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are, you're always at home. Whether you're making extra room with our extendable dining tables or creating the perfect cozy space with our modular seating, shop holiday deals and make lifelong memories with Ashley.
Actually, my ring. So I reset my ring.
I've been staring at it. So that's a good answer.
But I feel like I'll have it forever.
Let's talk about your business now.
Yes.
She says she'll have the ring forever. I mean, you could put that on there, right? Does that mean she plans to stay? Because we're not here praying for an end here. We're trying to collect information. And if you were to ask me if this relationship is going to last, because it's out there, everyone's talking about it. Is it going to last? I'm of the personal opinion, 60%. 60% chance they make it through. Because how many more shots does Steph Curry have to play here? I mean, he's almost out the league. He's going to be retiring soon. So things are going to get worse after that when he's spending more time at home. Still, 60%. Just because of how great a man Steph Curry is, 60% chance they're going to keep pushing together. Because like I said, I'm an advocate for marriage here. I don't push for people to break apart. At some point, though, we were looking like, does he have to make a decision here? Let's see. It's getting to the part where we need to be.
Really want to get to individually driven at a young age. You meet Steph. You have this like, oh my gosh, we didn't anticipate we were going to fall in love and then have babies and all the things. And then one day you woke up pretty quickly into having a kid being like, wait, I got to get myself back on track.
Yeah.
Steph has his career. I want my career to get back on track.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part early days?
There goes the competition. And I got to give credit to Aisha Curry. She's not the one saying this. The host is saying this. And remember, it's the Call Her Daddy podcast. You can check her out. It's the host saying all of these charged things. And she's agreeing with it. So she gets, because she's in the room, of course. It's the host saying all these charged things. It was the host that said misogynistic. Now she's throwing out all these other charged things. Call Her Daddy podcast. We're not shooting her down. Good content here. Makes it good for us to keep going. Let's get to this food TV thing. I'm very curious about that. Who gave that to you? Who gave you that deal? Let's see.
days of like really trying to start your business?
I think early days it was just starting. So I basically started. So I figured I wasn't gonna transition back into acting yet. I was gonna try to figure out something for myself where I could kind of stay in one place. I've loved food my entire life. Like I've cooked for my family since I was 11 years old. And people would often ask me for recipes and things like that. And so because we were the only people at the time in our family on the West Coast, everybody's on the East Coast, I was like, oh, I'll start like for the family. Like I'm just gonna launch a blog. Blogs were the thing at the time. And Stefan's actually the one that encouraged it because I would start and stop, start and stop. He was like, just do it. So I did it. Other people took notice. And then someone said, hey, people like to see these things, like make a video. And so I started making videos. And from there, it grew. And I went to San Francisco cooking school for a little bit. And then the station that broadcasts the Warriors games at the time.
All right, we're going to give her some credit here, all right? Because she's talking about the work she did. She knows how to cook. We have to give her credit for that. She knows how to cook. This is America. She knows how to cook. I repeat, this is America. And she knows how to cook. So give her credit for that. You know how hard it is to find that? Look, she knows how to cook, bro. Maybe that's another reason why he's staying. Forgive me for that. Maybe that's another reason why he's staying. Because she knows how to cook. She probably does know how to cook well, too. But she's talking about how this hustle came up. And there's something more important than that. So we're going to rewind it just a tad bit before we wrap it up.
And Stefan's actually the one that encouraged it because I would start and stop, start and stop. He was like, just do it. So I did it. Other people took notice. And then someone said, hey, people like to see these things, like make a video. And so I started making videos. And from there, it grew. And I went to San Francisco cooking school for a little bit. And then the station that broadcasts the Warriors games at the time, they reached out and they were like, hey, we really like your videos. Like, what if we gave you a 30-minute slot before?
The station that broadcasts the Warriors game called you. You were doing your thing. You started your blog. You started making little videos. Congratulations. I didn't even mean to call it little. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm also industrious, you know. I'm a published author. I own a brand. I'm a winning bodybuilder. I'm an athlete. I'm also doing a whole bunch of other things I'm not going to mention until they're done. So I understand all these things about hustle. Respect that. Where did that gold come from? Where did the millions come from? Who sent that? That network that hosts the Warriors game? I'm willing to bet this. It was Steph Curry that called him up and said, look, man, my wife bitching about this and that. Look, give her a call. Don't tell her it was me and give her a deal. I'm willing to bet that's what happened. Now, let's see if she mentions it. Let's see.
Every game locally. And we did a cooking segment. And I was like, yeah. And so that was like my first TV cooking direct to camera. And then from there it grew to the book and then the book to Food Network. And so it was like I had this robust like food television career very quickly that happened pretty organically. And I've like enjoyed every minute of it.
What?
Keratin Color by Schwarzkopf.
We got to call bullshit on that. This ad is bothering me. We got to call bullshit on that, man. Real talk. Oh, this ad gets out my face. You give it a couple of seconds to get it out of here. Here's what she said.
Hardest?
She said it happened organically. And it happened quickly. That's because of your husband. Steph Curry did that, bro. If it wasn't for Steph Curry making that call, you'd still be out here probably doing your thing, right? But you wouldn't be no multi-millionaire. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. She could probably still be a multi-millionaire. See how I caught myself there? Hustle is hustle. Respect hustle over here. Women can hustle too. It's just, trade-offs. My point is this. You got to give your husband credit for that. And it doesn't seem like she is. She's saying, oh, it happened organically, and that's the competition that I'm talking about. Dare I say, penis envy. She's competing with her husband. Now, what can we collect about Steph Curry from all of this? One, we know she's not going to beat Steph Curry. You're not going to make as much money as him. Can we understand that? That's probably why she's stressed out right now, because she went back and said she thought he was going to be a high school football coach or a basketball coach. and he became greater. We talked about that, right? So what do we get here watching all of this? Because we're about done. Is there anything else we need to watch? Look, let's watch it for about another 30 seconds, and then we're going to put our closing statements on this.
Situation that you've had to navigate as a female business owner?
I
Why are you laughing?
sorry, because I don't know if I can say this, but I'll just say it anyway. The hardest, there's two. The first was hearing the no's as a woman in food. So I didn't realize how many barriers at the time. Now it's very different. I was either too young or too young of a woman, or there was nobody that looked like me. So instead of being like, you don't have a demographic here, let's create one, it was like, no, you don't have a demographic here. And so I think that was shocking to me. Getting people to take me seriously, because at the time I think I was now 24 or 25. And so getting people to see me and realize that I had talent outside of what people were assuming, I think has been really difficult.
I think also what you were kind of alluding to when you were saying that, people were looking to see if you actually had talent outside of maybe what people were expecting you to be known for, and kind of
Why are they being so ambiguous? I'm trying to get some concrete evidence here. We're not getting it. What people think you were known for? What are you talking about? Being a wife? When you're being ambiguous like that, I really don't get what you're talking about. And then the host herself, she piggybacks on it and adds more ambiguity. Like, we can't use that here. Let's see, man.
we were talking about money thing earlier. It's like, yes, I think there's a lot of people that would be like, you're Steph Curry's wife. Like, go sit in the stands and like he makes so much money, just be happy. And so there's the one where
Yep, I was right. That other stuff she was talking about was being a wife. Other stuff that I'm known for, the wife. Goodness gracious. This isn't about Ayesha Curry. So this is the kind of stuff that makes men wonder why Steph Curry not doing something. It also makes men look at it and they wait for her to finally pull the trigger on him. Proverbially speaking. And from here, what information did we collect? I'm trying to find something good here. So let's watch another 30 seconds because nothing good ran across my mind right there.
Question, and then there's the two now that you bring up of like people maybe assuming, oh, is she getting what she's getting just because she is this guy's wife? How does that make you feel when you hear those comments?
It feels crazy. And actually what you just said, like I recall like sitting there, you said in the stands, a reporter actually literally said on live television, she needs to sit there and look pretty like other people. I think people just don't realize that there is a life outside of where we are now in our adulthood. I think
we're going to wrap it up there. You got to catch the wordplay. It's not getting better. We got to stop it now because it's not getting better. She's getting worse with what she's talking about. I'm not a therapist. I'm not married either. I watched this to collect information. Did we get anything good from this? Here's the good thing. Here's the credit we're going to give to Steph Curry. He loves his wife. He's solution oriented. He's the one that got her the Food Network show. And the woman is pissed off that she's not the star. I'm not sure what you can do about that. I'm still betting he can overcome it and keep this kingdom together. So that's what we got. We're still advocates for marriage over here. This does not knock us off anything. Because look, although I'm a single man, I've been in a number of long-term relationships, failed relationships. Credit to that. Okay? That's why I'm here collecting information. And you got to collect information from what's out there. And again, I didn't want to watch Ayesha Curry. I would have much rather listened to Steph Curry. I'm saying maybe it's because he's a stoic man, a religious man. He doesn't want to come out here and speak. Cool, fine. But that's the reason we have to get information from other places. So we're going to wrap it up with this. We're still advocates for marriage over here. It's not a good market out here. I mean, everybody can say that. And because I'm part of the market, I have to admit it. I'm also adding to the fact that it's not a good market. Because I'm not taking anything serious right now. I'm all about the kingdom. Seriously, I'm all about the kingdom. That's it. Like, I'm not moving off of that. That's my square. So, that's what we got. Steph Curry is a stoic man. And I'm willing to bet 60% chance this marriage makes it. Because he's going to be retiring in the next 5 years. He probably doesn't have another 5 years in the league. And that's going to present even more challenges for this. And I'm curious to see what happens. Because there's levels to a relationship. And all men talk about a switch up. And a lot of divorced men talk about switch ups. That's what I'm looking for too. That's the fear that a lot of men have. When is she gonna switch up? And we're seeing the switch up here right now. And we're looking at Steph Curry like, do you see it? Are you gonna do something? Like, what are you gonna do? I'm curious. I'm curious. This is all about Steph Curry here, because every day that Steph Curry doesn't do anything, he's losing the respect in the world of competitive men. You got to do something, bro. You got to do something. Giving her the opportunities work, you got to do something. And I don't know what you can do about a woman that wants to be the star and you're the star. Like, does she even? I'm not going to go that far. I'm just hoping you do something, because I'm rooting for you, bro. I know you don't know me. Probably I'll never probably never see you. Look, I'm rooting for you. And a lot of brothers in America of all races are rooting for you to figure this out, man. And I'm not rooting for it to fail. I'm rooting for you to hold it together. That's what we got here. If you liked what you heard, you can support the 60-Hour Network. You can go to pierrebroach.com. You can get yourself a nice American Shield brooch. It's really nice. You can get that if you're a classy individual like myself. You can also support us. Get my first book, You Weren't With Me in the Gym. That's also available at pierrebroach.com. And we're going to wrap it up here. Till next time, everyone. The 60-Hour Network is gone. Peace.